Looks like trouble ahead. The rendezvous could be compromised.
Even with procedural maps, XCOM 2's missions started feeling a little bit stale after about 100 hours or so. Enter War of the Chosen, an expansion which grafts on more than enough new variables to give that creeping sense of predictability a brutal beatdown. Variety is War of the Chosen's biggest strength. There are several new mission types and map sets, modifiers that put random twists on new and existing missions, tons of new dark events and continent bonuses, a handful of new advent troops, and of course, the possibility of being dropped in on by one of the three chosen. Each of these semi-immortal boss characters changes things up in their own distinct way by smack-talking and harassing you from across the map, then trying to abduct your troops. The chosen aren't pushovers by any means, but they're also not unfair squad killers like the rulers from the Alien Hunters DLC. Their random weaknesses and growing list of abilities are a clear nod to the Shadow of Mordor Nemesis system, and that keeps them feeling dangerous each time. On the XCOM side, starting a new campaign quickly introduces you to the Reaper, Skirmisher, and Templar soldier classes. I don't love the idea of predetermined special troops instead of letting heroes emerge from the ranks organically, but the limits on recruiting mean that you can't stack your team with them. Most of their innate skills, like the Skirmisher firing 2 shots per turn or the Templar's retreat after a melee strike, feel like having a captain in a squad at the start. It just allows for more advanced tactics early on, which didn't unbalance things for me. The exception is the Reaper's super stealth, which practically lets them walk up and poke an alien in the eye without being spotted. With some good sharpshooters as backup, a Reaper can trivialize search and destroy missions. The 5 existing classes are unchanged, except now you can make them wildly more powerful by unlocking every skill on their tree, including a whole set of random abilities that makes each person feel like a scratch-off lottery ticket where you almost always win something. That's done with a new, sort of confusing ability point system. You can give them even more bonuses by bonding pairs of troopers together with a very confusing cohesion system. At the same time, there's a new fatigue system that prevents you from taking the same soldiers on every mission without some nasty consequences, which makes them feel more human and makes you rotate a larger team in and out. It's more complex, more flexible, and comes with even more tactical possibilities. Some missions, especially the new abandoned city maps, are also packed with the Lost, a new kind of zombie. They're a completely different kind of fight, thanks to their huge numbers and the fact that any kill shot doesn't cost an action. Because of that vulnerability, they're very rarely a serious threat, but I do like the extra dimension they add as a third side in fights with the Advent forces. The performance improvements that come with War of the Chosen are especially noticeable during those big battles. The 3 rebel factions talk a big game about not liking each other and needing to be unified under the XCOM banner.
Too bad they hate each other.
But sadly, none of that is actually reflected in gameplay because none of the choices you make risks angering them. They're really more like elaborate upgrade menus for some of the many new things happening on the world map, like covert actions. Those let you unlock a ton of powerful upgrades and progress soldier stats outside of combat, at the risk of having them not available when you need warm bodies for a mission or getting them captured. There's almost an overload of choices in the early and mid-game, which makes how you spend the Avengers' time and resources feel wide open. Of course, you now have so many options for turning back the Avatar Project clock that there's very little urgency. So you can easily keep a game going indefinitely, research nearly everything, kill all the chosen for good, and become a nearly unstoppable god by the end. Which, if nothing else, gives you plenty of time to mess with the goofy built-in propaganda photo booth. War of the Chosen is a wide and deep upgrade for XCOM 2 that improves variety in mission objectives, tactical options, threats, and strategic map activities. Some balance issues show up, but especially for the first 2/3 of a campaign, it restores the fear of the unknown. For more on XCOM, check out our review of XCOM 2.